Hello, it's me, the TheDuelLogs. I'm a psychic spider who lives on the moon. Anyways, today we're gonna go over the card of the week. Today's card of the week is Raigeki. Raigeki is a normal spell card which destroys all monsters on your opponent's side of the field, and was even banned for like over 10 years because there's no cost to that. If your opponent has 6 monsters, that's a +5 in card economy or card advantage. I'm not really sure. I think like there's a difference between card economy and card advantage, because card economy is like, you know, the difference between like how many cards you and your opponent control. You don't actually gain any pluses yourself. When you use Raigeki, that's a -1 from your hand. But if your opponent loses a card, then the overall card economy on the field evens out. But I think that's also just called card advantage. But then again, these are all made up terms like spell speed 4, so it doesn't really matter. So Raigeki has the potential to go plus 6 in card advantage, since technically you can occupy both of the link zones and have 7 monsters on the field. So this card is bonkers. That's amazing, but that's best case scenario though. Like, you have to be able to go second for that to happen. And your opponent needs to have a whole bunch of cards that don't have their effects turned on. Maybe use Dark Ruler no more to turn off their effects, and so they're able to be destroyed by your Raigeki, in which case it's no longer a +6 because you have to use Dark Ruler no more. It's now a +5, or wait, yeah, +5 if you destroy 7 cards and use 2 cards from your hand. Otherwise, it's, you know, for yourself, it's a -1 in card advantage because you don't gain any advantage for using it. But it does allow you to destroy a bunch of cards, which is pretty good. Also, according to Wikipedia, this card can be searched by Endymion, the Mighty Master of Magic, and other generic searchers, which means there's no searcher for it. You can use Left Arm Offering too, but that's not really worth it. Endymion searches out pretty much any spell card. Also, apparently, in the video game Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories, this card could be obtained by fusing 1 Electric Whip and 1 Metal Morph. That's crazy. Raigeki is currently unlimited at 3 copies. It still sees play, but not as much as it used to. Did you know this card's name in the TCG is the Japanese word for Thunder Strike? So Raigeki is a Japanese word for Thunder Strike, which is weird that they just left it as a Japanese name, because usually they localize these into English names. So the name should probably just be Thunder Strike, but I guess leaving it as Raigeki works because it's smaller and is included in the text of a lot of other cards. Because it's referenced in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 other cards have Raigeki, or like have its artwork in it, including Lightning Vortex, Flash of the Forbidden Spell, Synchro Cracker, Raigeki Bottle, Crystal Raigeki, and Raigeki Break. And apparently it has a spell and trap card equivalent called the Harpy's Feather Duster. And this card has an equivalent, specifically in the Blue Eyes decks, called Burst Stream of Destruction, which is a card which requires Blue Eyes to be on the field to destroy all your opponent's cards, but then prevents your Blue Eyes from attacking. And if it didn't have that downside, Blue Eyes decks might play it because they love bricks. And finally, Raigeki is one of the 4 cards that has a specific designed card made to counter its effect alone. The other 3 being Dark Hole, Harpy's Feather Duster, and Monster Reborn. In which case, Raigeki's anti-support is Anti-Raigeki, which, funny enough, did you know you can't use Anti-Raigeki if your opponent doesn't control a monster? Since part of its effect to negate the effects of Raigeki is to destroy your opponent's monsters. But if your opponent doesn't have any monsters, then you can't fulfill that condition, and thus cannot use Anti-Raigeki, which is kind of hilarious. Anyways, therein concludes this week's I don't remember what it was called. The week of, yeah, this concludes the week of Raigeki. Tune in next week when we go over the week of some other card. I'm not going to tell you what it is because I don't want to think of it until I have to do it.